The following is a paid program. Talk 103.7 WTIP and Cable Channel 7 welcome you into Financially Speaking with Jim Taunton. Find us live on radio, TV, the IBX Media app, and on YouTube. Just search Financially Speaking NC or get the link at WTIPFM.com. The opinions expressed in this show are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine what investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities and investment advisory services are offered through Genoa Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Now, here's your host for Financially Speaking, certified financial advisor, Jim Taunton.
Hello and welcome to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here, your host for the next 30 minutes. Glad you joined me. We'd love to have you join me on the telephone, actually. So if you have a financially related question or issue, something in the news you've seen, you had a question about, anything like that, just give me a call. I'd much rather talk to you about something you think is important or pertinent to you than monologue. So the number here is 561-TALK, 561-8255. Of course, we're always area 252, 561-8255. If you call now, we're going to take your call first when we come back from the break. But just before we go to the break, we had given earlier this afternoon some not so serious consideration to allowing our producer, Mr. Phil, take over the program tonight and exercise his vast knowledge of finance, planning, and investments. But what he did was just shared with me just three little tidbits that he would have shared with you had he was doing this program. So I'm going to share them with you. Maybe you can use them in your planning. Number one, he said, make more than you spend. Simplistic, but oh so true. Secondly, don't put it on a credit card if you couldn't put it on a debit card. I like that. If you don't have the money in the bank to buy it, then don't buy it. Don't use your credit. Thirdly, he said, max out your 401k. That's my advice to every client that I meet with for the most part, especially early on in their accumulation phase. Max out your 401k, especially if you're getting a match. Now, if you're not getting a match, you still need to put the money away, but you're not getting quite as much benefit. But certainly if you're getting a match, you need to get into the employer's pocket as much as possible. That's free money. So Phil did a pretty good job tonight.
Appreciate it, Jim.
Phil a hand.
That was me. I said, I appreciate it. That's all I can offer. That's all I know. I haven't been on radio in a month and I'm chomping at the bit. So I wanted to get to talk. So thank you.
So we have completely exhausted Phil's knowledge base in the area of finance. So there you go. Give me a call during the break. 561-TALK, 561-8255. I'll take your call when we come back.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates. Low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome back to Financially Speaking, and I am almost giddy with excitement, and it's not for the reasons you think. My wife is serving at church tonight, and when she serves at church on Thursday nights, Jim gets to go to Waffle House. Yes. I love Waffle House. That's my favorite meal of the week. Kid you not. And June doesn't care for it. So whenever she's away, Jim goes to Waffle House. So if you want to see me live and in person, you go to Waffle House near Lowe's. Let's see, 6. I'll be over there about 6:15 to 6:20. Getting my 3-egg scramble with 1 slice of cheese, crispy bacon, and some grits. Oh, boy. Let's go.
You're making me hungry, Jim.
I mean, it's good stuff. Good stuff. You need to call me, though, first, and my number is 561-TALK, 561-8255. I do have some good information, but I'd much rather talk to you. All right. Man, we got so much going on.
Caller.
Wait a minute. Oh, we have a caller, don't we?
Yep.
Okay. Jimmy, great name, by the way, is on the line. Thank you for interrupting the monologue. I appreciate that a lot. Go right ahead with your question, Jimmy.
Hey, I thought you were going to be all giddy because you had a listener to call in with a question.
That's the second reason for being giddy.
Okay. Yeah, I would like for you to explain to the audience, and I've grasped about 85 or 90% of the concept, but could you please tell us the difference between a tax and a tariff so people won't get so emotional?
Well, it's apples and oranges, really. The left side of the aisle calls it a tax simply to demean the tool, while there's, a red Oval Office. But both sides of the aisle have used tariffs in the past. I've talked about this on the program before. There are a number of presidents, 8 to 10 presidents at least, have utilized tariffs, Democrats and Republicans. So it's just a tool, but tariffs are a cost that an importer pays to receive goods and or services from another country. And normally what happens is the delivering country will try to absorb that by reducing the prices. Otherwise, the receiving company here in the States would cease and desist of importing their goods, and they don't want that to happen. So normally the exporter in other countries would absorb the cost, but it certainly does not necessarily trickle down to the consumer level, and we haven't seen it yet, but it is early. However, in the process, we don't know exactly right now how the current level of tariffs is going to affect prices. But I actually put out on this program last week that if the dollar appreciates more, and it's appreciating now, if it appreciates, let's say, by 15%, which is certainly doable, that 15% appreciation of the dollar would offset any tariff costs that might occur, which would mean zero inflation, from a tariff. So it's not necessarily the case that we're going to have inflation from tariffs. Taxes are very simply a direct cost to the consumer that they pay so the government can remain in business. it is revenue. Now, tariffs are also revenue, and they're generating billions and billions of dollars of revenue right now to the government. And I'm hoping that along with the GDP picking up from tariffs, will help us to create a balanced budget and maybe make some headway on this national debt we have. But yeah, tariffs and taxes are, you could make an argument that they're the same, but they're not the same. They're quite different, and they don't necessarily cost the consumer anything. The tariffs don't. Taxes, absolutely, they're a direct levy on citizens of the government. Was that clear, or you agree with that? Do you have anything to add?
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. It's just that there's a lot of people out there that are naive about it, and they, you throw emotion in it, and then the next thing you know, you have ignorance spreading around, and I just believe that tariffs coming in to the United States are just a way of showing that they're out there in other countries to be bought, and the United States is a big customer, and if you want to bring your products into the U.S. to sell, then you have to pony up a little bit to do that. Exactly.
Yeah, the U.S. Has been used and abused over several decades at least, because we are the premier market in the world by far. We have more resources by far than any other country. And so we're viewed as the sugar daddy. We're going to provide for every country everything they ever need. And, while Trump's in office, that's probably not going to be the case. So we'll see what happens. But, I just don't think that, tariffs may cause a one-time blip in inflation on the front end, but I just don't think it's going to be a continual deal, because we're going to have such growth, I think, in GDP and the growth in the value of the dollar that it's going to offset any negative effect that tariffs would have. So I just hope they utilize the revenue from the tariffs as it should be. But yeah, I appreciate the call. That was an excellent question. I hope you gave your phone number to the producer when you called in.
I did. I just have every faith that it's going to work out. I hear from different sources locally and from around the country, and they pretty much all concur with the future positivity. But we may go through a little bit of a hiccup between now and then. But hey, just be patient and hold on to your horses.
Yeah. Yeah, Trump himself said we may have some short-term pain for some long-term gain. And, it's possible. Where'd you call from, Jimmy, by the way?
I'm traveling I live in Greenville.
Mm-hmm. Good, but you're on the road as we speak.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, Jimmy, that was just a great question. And anybody else out there that would like to call me about anything financially related, government related for that matter, tax related, tariff related, whatever, something personal related, that's good too. And I'll continue, and hopefully Phil will send me a text telling me I've got a caller waiting for me, and I'll go to that. Please interrupt the monologue any point in time. All right, so will the markets continue to meander higher? That's the question right now. I mean, the markets have just done extremely well this year. We had that blip when we had Liberation Day, when Trump announced that he was going to put tariffs on everybody, and we went down a lot. right after that, but then it recovered very quickly. I've told you on this program, and I tell clients in real life, circumstantial downturns in the market, number one, are usually very short-lived, and recovery is very fast. That one was no different. We are up large from January 1st. And even with the uncertainty right now, would you believe that from Monday through Wednesday of this week, I didn't include Thursday because when I put the material together, Thursday wasn't done yet. But Monday through Wednesday, that's 3 market days. The market was up 1.6%. 1.6% in 3 days in a period of considerable uncertainty. That's remarkable. I mean, 1.6% is more than the bank pays you for a whole year in some accounts. That's why you stay invested, folks. That is why you remain invested. You can't time markets consistently. You just can't do it. And, I've told you on the program twice in my career, I've removed clients' assets from the market, went to cash temporarily, and it's because there was a fundamental issue in those 2 occasions. Fundamental issue. Not circumstantial, not geopolitical, nothing like that. Okay. Let's see. We've had 4 straight months of gains, basically, counting July. 4 straight months of gains. Now, August, historically, is one of the worst months of the year, maybe the worst month of the year. October may be second. But August typically is not a good month for the market. You would think that the seasonality pressure of August being a bad month, plus the uncertainty that we're going through right now, would cause the market to go down, but it hasn't so far. It surely has not. All right. The VIX, sometimes called the fear gauge, the fear index. It's over $30, which means we have extreme volatility in the market, even though the market is up. So volatility can be good and bad. Volatility can mean the market goes up. It can mean the market is down, or both. In the purest definition, is both. The ISM gauge was released. This one measured the services, and it was 50.1, which is barely growth. 50 is steady. Above 50 is growth in the services sector. Below 50 is retraction or contraction. Recessionary. It was 50.1. So we're still treading water just above recessionary level. And I wanted to share a little bit of historical data on that, the ISM gauge, going back to last August of 24. And we peaked actually in October of 24 on the ISM gauge, and it was at close to 56, very strong. And then it went down, and then back up, down, up. And then the trend line really has been down since October of 24. So, we'll see what happens with that, but not really that concerned about it. I tell you what, we're already 6:19. We don't have but so many minutes. We're going to go to a mid-program break right now. It's about 2 minutes. That'll give you time to dial the number, and they'll put you on hold, and I'll take your call first when we come back. And the number is 561-8255, 561-8255. call me with your financially related question. If you call me, your name goes into the drawing for the dinner for two at Octavol. I'll even pay the tip. Great place to eat. Be back in 2 minutes.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
All right, Jim Taunton back with you. Appreciate you staying with me during the break. And my producer, Mr. Phil, says we don't have a caller, which is a sad state of affairs. You can call me now. We have plenty of time to take another caller. 561-TALK, 561-8255. All right, I've got a couple of case studies here for you. I was going to talk a little bit more about the market, but we're run out of time, and I want to talk about the case studies. And I mentioned to you last week that my firm basically does business in 3 different disciplines: planning, investing, and insurance. The insurance side of the equation, my oldest son has been with me close to 15 years now. He's in banking, came with me, and has done a great job. He does all the insurance, life, disability, long-term care. That's basically what we do in the insurance area. Do it with hundreds of companies. I don't do that anymore. I did, when he wasn't with me. But the planning and investing, I certainly do. I love doing full-blown financial plans and seeing the light come on, and people say, "Okay, well, I'm not in as bad a shape as I thought I was." And there you go. And then, of course, the other side of the equation is we need to make sure we're doing the right things with the client's money to accomplish the objectives set forth in the financial plan. Well, let me give you the case studies, and you'll see that these kind of mix on both disciplines, planning and investing. I had a client came to me 2 or 3 years ago. He was retiring, and he wanted a guaranteed lifetime income off his money. He just didn't like the idea of flapping in the market breezes and possibly outliving his income, which is the greatest fear of any retiree, really, is outliving their income. So we utilized a variable annuity, and we started drawing the lifetime income immediately. And then over time, circumstances changed. And the individual said, don't send me any more systematic income, stop the direct deposits. And we did. But then several times we've gone in and made lump sum or ad hoc withdrawals from the VA account, which is certainly acceptable. But we met, actually, I guess it might have been today. And I told the individual that the VA actually has some additional expense associated with it because it provides a guarantee, lifetime guarantee of income, and they charge for that. It's like paying for homeowners insurance. You pay a premium to protect yourself in the case your house burns down and insurance dollars are used. And the VA is no different. You pay for the protection of a lifetime guarantee of income from the contract. And I told the individual if he was not going to continue making lifetime income withdrawals from that, the VA was the wrong place for the money. And he agreed. And so what we are ultimately going to do is we're going to move the money from the VA contract to an advisory account, which is a pure investment account, fee-only investment account. And therefore, the total expense is going to be reduced by probably 1.2% or so from the VA to the advisory account. And it's always 100% liquid day one. I have discretion with the account. We can put it in any and all things that we want to utilize. But we are willing to make changes. We don't put you in something and leave it alone and never look at it again, never touch it, never talk to you about it, and never tweak it. That's not good. You know, if you're with a financial advisor and you know there's been no changes made in the last 20 years, then you might want to get a second opinion. And I can certainly do that by looking at a statement. Just bring your statement with you. And meeting with me is no cost or obligation. We can just talk. My number, by the way, at the office is 756-4700, 756-4700. My email is jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. Letter J, Taunton is my last name, financial.com. Jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. My website is jtauntonfinancial.com. You can also contact me through there and also find out anything you need to know about Jim and more than likely. So, yeah, we try to be faster on our feet. You know, if the situation changes, circumstances change, you know, we might need to make a change, and we are going to make a change. The other case, I've got my client, unfortunately, sadly, has a dementia. And the client's going downhill pretty quick. And the daughter is basically taking control of the accounts and the money and utilizing the money and resources to take care of the client, which is a good thing. But to do this, the daughter had to obtain a power of attorney. I recommended that the power of attorney be obtained so that the daughter could step into the parents' shoes and control the money, make withdrawals without permission of the actual client, and so forth. And not only with me, but banks and other institutions as well. She can take that power of attorney and give a copy to any financial institution and handle the money. So if you have a parent or, you know, spouse for that matter, that is diagnosed with dementia, first thing you need to do is go to an attorney and get a power of attorney drawn up. Just absolutely. Transfer on death won't do it. A beneficiary designation won't do it. It needs to be a power of attorney. Okay, I've got music in my ear. We're about to run out of time. As always, this is Jim Taunton helping you make all of your financial decisions good ones. Good night, everybody.